And you best believe these owners are going to be scouring the market for who can reel in the big fish, the biggest fish of them all, Caitlin Clark. Take a look here. This is crazy. It is going down, y'all. It's going down like Young Jock. I keep trying to tell you. Sparks agree to part ways with general manager Reagan Pebley. The LA Sparks have agreed to part ways with general manager effective today.
Okay. The absolute fabric of professional athletic governance has officially ruptured at the highest economic level, and the entire multi-billion-dollar WNBA infrastructure is currently spinning out of unmanaged control following the most catastrophic corporate leak in sports history. What was engineered behind closed doors as a highly classified multi-million-dollar institutional operation has officially bypassed every single league non-disclosure agreement, exposing a massive seismic shift that has permanently terminated the power balance of the Indiana Fever franchise. Tonight, we are revealing the definitive documented proof of a secret $50 million hostile contract offer officially extended by the aggressive billionaire ownership group of the Los Angeles Sparks. A monumental financial raid that has completely shattered the toxic administration of head coach Stephanie White. For months, corporate executives and television networks have desperately attempted to suppress the escalating internal warfare within the Indiana facilities, but the dam has finally broken on live television. Clark has officially legally accepted the record-breaking West Coast terms, initiating an immediate operational mutiny that has left her former coaching staff trapped in a state of terminal career panic. The ancient structures of managerial gaslighting have been completely liquidated into dust. The legal compliance networks are fracturing under immense public scrutiny, and the definitive countdown to the total absolute destruction of the Fever's organizational credibility has officially reached zero. To understand why this unprecedented $50 million evacuation is the ultimate calculated salvation for Caitlin Clark's historic career, the global community must first confront the dark reality of the persistent professional betrayal she was forced to endure inside the Indiana facility. Throughout the entirety of the previous competitive cycles, the administrative leadership repeatedly engineered systematic strategic maneuvers designed to intentionally suppress the generational star's athletic market leverage. Head coach Stephanie White operated under a dangerous, arrogant protocol of manufactured bench rotations, deliberate late-game isolation tactics, and passive-aggressive press room declarations. All executed to protect the fragile corporate comfort of the established bureaucratic hierarchy.
Out her more than they have leaned into her and built a team to play around her. They've spent 2 off seasons building a team to play without Caitlin Clark. It's clear as day. It's very simple, and I think the writing is pretty much already on the wall. At the end of the season, Kelsey Mitchell contract is up. Caitlin Clark is up for the Epic. Whatever. The Indiana Fever are going to be forced to pick a direction. They're either going to choose Kelsey Mitchell and Stephanie White, or they are going to choose Caitlin Clark. And I include Stephanie White in that because Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark, philosophically, they just don't see basketball from the same lens. It's that simple. I don't believe that they hate each other off the floor. I just don't think that on the floor, it's a good mix. I think they just see the game through 2 different lenses. And we have been yearning and calling for Stephanie White to actually stand up for, represent, and be front and center for Caitlin Clark. And she's refused to do it at every turn outside of a 30-second clip post the Alyssa Thomas situation, in which she backtracked on everything she said and made Alyssa Thomas the victim when her superstar point guard was the victim. It just makes no sense how Stephanie White has gone about this. And you see the things that LA Sparks doing. You got Cameron Brink, who's friends with Caitlin Clark. You got Kate Money Martin.
Every single historic milestone achieved by Clark was met with chilling institutional silence from her own bench. A toxic culture of deep-seated administrative envy that consistently prioritized personal front office control over global competitive dominance. The coaching regime genuinely believed that they could repeatedly sabotage the sport's ultimate economic asset without facing direct fiscal consequences. But by transforming a world-class locker room into an oppressive theater of administrative warfare, the Fever management effectively guaranteed their own spectacular demise, pushing their franchise cornerstone into the waiting arms of an aggressive Los Angeles syndicate that was waiting to strike. The moment the confidential financial blueprints of the Sparks ownership group were transmitted through secondary digital channels.
Now, I want to get into the new ownership before I even get to what Coach had to say. Okay, now this new ownership group came in and they are looking to make major moves. Okay, hold on one second. Now this is Ramona Shelburne. Okay, a longtime sports writer for ESPN Los Angeles. Okay, now Ramona Shelburne said this. Okay, Sparks ownership, the Walter Group, has been much more involved with the franchise this season, just as they have with the Lakers. From what I understand, this is more of an organizational shift than anything specific. An organizational shift.
So, the entire corporate hierarchy of professional basketball suffered an immediate systemic shock wave. Los Angeles leadership didn't merely present a standard trade acquisition package. They executed a brilliantly calculated, cold-blooded executive raid designed to exploit the growing administrative fracture within the Fever organization. Backed by massive global venture capital allocations, the Sparks formulated an astronomical $50 million generational compensation framework utilizing unprecedented corporate endorsement integrations and long-term equity structures that completely bypass traditional luxury tax limitations. This monumental West Coast maneuver was specifically customized to offer Caitlin Clark absolute professional immunity from the administrative toxic waste she was drowning in back in Indiana.
Coaching and the team and Atlanta. So obviously, you know, I found out this morning, Reagan's a friend of mine and I care about her. And this is the hard part in sports, right? But right now I'm just, you know, focused on the team.
Sense of urgency kind of heightened, or has it already been kind of there already?
Like, what do you mean?
The sense of urgency of like.
I mean, we've had the sense of urgency all season. You know, we've had just peaks and valleys with how we've played and who we've had active and injured and stuff. But I feel like we're playing
now. Lynn Roberts, she understands the pressure is on her as a coach because there's no guarantee that you're gonna like make it. There's no guarantee that this ownership group is gonna keep you around. The ownership group may be scouring around for a coach that already has a great relationship with Caitlin Clark. They're gonna be looking to make a partnership, and I think, listen, man, things are happening behind the scenes. I 100% believe things are happening, and there's a chance that this thing could take a turn.
The internal verification of Clark accepting this historic ultimatum has triggered an unmanaged state of absolute hysteria across corporate boardrooms, forcing primary network sponsors to immediately freeze their local Midwest marketing budgets as they realize the biggest television draw in history has officially engineered her permanent escape from their corrupt system. The catastrophic fallout of this leaked financial mutiny has now focused entirely on head coach Stephanie White, whose professional reputation has been completely and permanently liquidated across the global digital landscape. The comfortable illusion of absolute executive authority has instantly transformed into a terrifying professional nightmare as she faces the reality of being completely outmaneuvered by her own alienated superstar. Internal leaks leaking from the secure Indiana facility confirm that emergency corporate board meetings are currently being conducted around the clock with primary shareholders screaming for immediate systemic accountability. White is currently trapped in a state of complete career paralysis. Her tactical authority has been completely rejected by the remaining locker room infrastructure. Her marketing viability is completely dead, and high-level investors are openly demanding her immediate mandatory termination before the entire franchise faces a complete fan-led financial boycott. The corporate public relations shield has entirely evaporated. The generic, carefully fabricated damage control statements are being mocked by millions of furious supporters online. And the definitive countdown to an absolute administrative cleansing is being executed on live television. With Caitlin Clark officially stepping into the multi-million-dollar spotlight of the Los Angeles Sparks, the entire modern landscape of global sports entertainment has crossed an absolute point of no return. This is no longer a standard athletic transfer. This is a full-scale cultural and economic revolution that proves generational talent will no longer be held hostage by bureaucratic envy and administrative corruption.
If we don't have those, it's not going to be good, but we have the talent needed, even with KP out, even with Cam out, to be more competitive than that.
Yeah. During this stretch, talk to me about just the decision today to just like practice and just say, we're just going to watch film. If you want to shoot a little bit, you can shoot a little bit, but not even really do too much on court, and just say, like, this is what we got to do. Here it is. Let's go do it.
And that's the reality at this point in the season too. Like, we don't need to go through our plays right now today and wear them down physically. It's mentally having the focus and the intensity needed to execute. It's that simple. Now, it's hard to do, but I'm not saying it's simple to do, but it's a simple fix. Like, that's what it is. Being in the right coverages, whatever it is, offensively being where we need to be. Like, do your job, all of us.
With Kelsey Plum and Brink out, you need more than just the starter. You're always going to need more than starters, but in particular, you're definitely going to need more from the bench. This last game, you played everybody, right? And everybody had a decent amount of minutes. What do you want to see from when you mix in players like Kate Martin and, maybe Peely this week and Kiana Williams and just Emma Cannon, she got some quality time. Park, like whoever it is, like what do you want to see from these bench players when they're kind of in the mix with the starters to kind of just keep it going?
Well, they got to bring life off the bench, play with some confidence. And again, it's player 1 through every DB player. Like, execute what we're supposed to be doing. Be focused, be in the moment. Don't be thinking about the shot you missed or the foul you didn't get or the turnover you had or the fact that your player just scored. Like, next play mentality. It takes a level of toughness mentally. That's what I need from everybody.
With this stretch, have you considered going to more of a hockey substitution? I noticed there are a couple teams in the league, they just be popping players out there, and I looked at, like, for example, I looked at the Valkyries the other day, and like even the minutes, it looked like an AAU team. The minutes, it's just across